Hey, welcome to another video on Expected Value Lotto, where we look at US scratch tickets and their expected values. And in this video, we're looking at the new Massachusetts Lottery $5 Game of Thrones ticket. This is part of the August 2024 series of tickets that came out in Massachusetts this past week. And this one is a number match game. And there are some symbols you can find. There is a coin for an instant win. There's some multipliers, 2x, 5x, 10x, 20x. And then there is a castle where you can win $500 instantly. Now, we do have to mention that this is a second chance drawing game. Um, I'm always suspicious of second chance drawing games because it seems like most of the time uh, it's a chance for a state to pull out a lot of value from a ticket while not putting nearly as much value back in the second chance drawing game. And this one to me is particularly sketchy. I looked at some of the details on this Game of Thrones promotion, and it said that there are going to be 4 winners from Massachusetts that go to this Game of Thrones event out in California. I looked at some of the details of this event, and it looks like there could be over 100 contestants in that game. So, when it says here on the ticket, second chance drawing for a chance to win a share of up to $7 million. I mean, it's unlikely. There's only a small percentage that, the winner of the Game of Thrones event is going to come out of Massachusetts. I think Massachusetts is one of the most reputable lottery companies or whatever out there. But this is a multi-state thing. It's got to be. There are going to be other states with these Game of Thrones tickets. And, there are other states that are, not nearly as good at doing lottery things as Massachusetts is. So this is one where I would probably um, not trust that this is a good deal. Now, here on this page, we are looking at the prize structure and odds that the Massachusetts Lottery put out on this game. Overall odds are 1 in 4.2, and it looks like you can win anywhere from $5 up to $500,000. Looking at the prize structure, only thing that catches my eye is that the top prize is 500,000, but the odds are way too long. It's 1 in 3 million odds. The odds should be, I don't know, like 1 in a million, close to 1 in a million. So yeah, the odds are too long on this. So that's not a good sign, I think, starting out here. But the rest of the prize structure, nothing too crazy stands out. So we will mention taxes. In Massachusetts, for any prize over $5,000, they're automatically going to take out 29% in taxes. I don't view the tax money as part of the value of the game, and so that is going to affect how I view this top prize. So instead of $500,000, I'm going to view this as $355,000. And with that adjusted prize amount, when you run the numbers on this game, you find out that the payout comes in between 67 and 68%, and this is not really even close to the minimum that we look for all $5 tickets. I'm used to seeing Massachusetts $5 tickets at like 76% payout. So 67% payout is like a shock. And so, yeah, just based on this payout alone, I wouldn't touch it. It's just way, way too low. We look for 70% payout because states can make plenty of money in that 70% range. And so for Massachusetts to put out a $5 ticket at 67% payout, something sketchy is going on with this ticket. So this is one that I would definitely recommend not playing. Now, the other thing we do need to mention about the 67% payout is that it does include all of the top prizes and upper mid-tier prizes, which not a lot of people are going to be winning, which means very few people are going to see 67% payout on this game. And so what we want to know now is, what is the payout going to be for the average person with average luck who may not be winning the top prizes? And in order to figure that out, we're going to subtract out the value of the top 1% of prizes, recalculate, and see what that new payout number is going to be. So looking back here at the prize structure, the separation between the top 1% and bottom 99% of prizes happens here at the $100 prize level. Again, I got to stress, like, personally wouldn't play this game. I don't recommend anybody play this. We know people are going to play it. So those people who are playing it, when they do win on it, they're going to expect to see a prize somewhere between $5 and $100. There's a split there at the $100 prize level. It's about 63 to 37. So 63%, over half of these $100 prizes will fall here in the bottom of the prize structure where average folks are winning. The other 37%, though, are going to join the rest of these prizes to make up the top 1% of prizes. Now, top 1% prizes are really difficult to hit. If you want to know the odds of hitting one, look at the overall odds, move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right, and you find out that only about 1 in every 420 tickets is going to have a top 1% prize on it, which means you're in about $2,100 before you would expect to see even one of these top 1% prizes. So that's important to note if you are thinking about playing this game. Now, because so few people are going to be winning these top 1% prizes, we're going to take the value of all of these, subtract it from the payout number you saw before, and that's going to leave us with the payout of just the bottom 99% of prizes, where 99% of people are going to be playing this game. And when we do that, we find out that the payout of just the bottom 99% of prizes comes in between 51 and 52%. And this is really brutal. I mean, we look for a minimum of 60% payout for the bottom 99% of prizes on all the tickets we review. And this is crazy low. I mean, we look for 60% because once you're in this 50% range, at least in my opinion, it just feels like you're losing your money so fast that it's not fun to play the game. And I mean, we're at the low end of the 50% range. So this is going to be just a really, really brutal ticket for almost everybody that plays it. So yeah, this is definitely this is another reason why I just wouldn't play this game. Now, here on this page, we are tracking the increases and decreases in Massachusetts $5 tickets. And obviously, you can see the Game of Thrones data point all the way over here on the right. And you can just see the nosedive in value that it takes from every other $5 ticket we've seen come out of Massachusetts. And again, like when a state does this, when they pull all this value out, I always recommend don't play the ticket. Because, this is not a situation where you want to be, showing approval of what the Massachusetts lottery is doing. I mean, this is just super sketchy. And yeah, I mean, there's no way that there's, value, this much value coming back into the game through the second chance drawing. Now, if you are playing $5 tickets in Massachusetts, you've got a lot of good ones to pick from. Up here in green, you see the best ticket in every column here. So if you're playing for overall value, Waves of Cash has the highest payout of any $5 ticket we've seen come out of Massachusetts. If you're playing for odds, Goldmine 50X has the best odds. If you're a more conservative player and like to hold on to as much of your money as possible, Big Blue Bonus Cash Word has the most value at the bottom of the prize structure. And then if you're more of a high roller and like to win a little bit more money when you are lucky enough to hit in the top 1%, the $1 million Stacks of Cash has the most money at the top. And then we are keeping track of top prizes over here as well if you're interested in that. Now here on this page, we are ranking Massachusetts $5 tickets based on overall payout. You can see Game of Thrones in a very, very distant last place. I mean, not even close to the next worst ticket that we've seen come out of Massachusetts. So this is it's just shocking. So this, again, I wouldn't play this. Now, here on this page, we are ranking based on the bottom 99% payout. Again, Game of Thrones in a very distant last place. Some of these other tickets are, pretty rough on the average player, but 51% is like crazy bad. I don't think this is going to be one that people like playing because it's just going to destroy so many people. Now, here on this page, we are comparing $5 tickets across states. And let's see. So Game of Thrones was at 67%. That was not even good enough to make the top 35 list here. So first time that's happened. You can see every other $5 ticket from Massachusetts is right up here at the top. Massachusetts, very competitive usually when it comes to $5 tickets. This Game of Thrones ticket, though, is not one that is competitive with what other states are doing. And I do want to look up here at the top of the list. Georgia, the best $5 ticket we've seen on the channel, had 77% payout. And so we got to compare that to this Game of Thrones ticket. So, the Game of Thrones ticket at 67.95, that's over 9.5 percentage points less than what Georgia did with this Fast 50s. And that's a ton of money when you think about how many tickets go into just one scratch game. One scratch game can easily have 10 million tickets that make up the game. Multiply that by the $5 price tag, and that's $50 million that's wrapped up in just one scratch game. 9.5% of 50 million is $4.75 million that the Massachusetts Lottery pulled out of this game. And there's no way, I mean, I guess maybe if the top winner from that Game of Thrones challenge came from Massachusetts, maybe that money would be made back, but the chances of that are very slim. And so, yeah, I mean, it's too sketchy. It's not a good ticket to play. Now here on this page, we're comparing the bottom 99% payout. 51% is so far off this list. Again, just a really super brutal ticket for the average player. Here on this page, these are the top 36 tickets we've reviewed on the channel so far. We don't have any $5 tickets on this list, but maybe one day, if we do, it's probably going to come from Massachusetts. So anyways, you can pause that and look at it if you would like. And then here on this page are the top 36 tickets based on the bottom 99% payout. There are a couple $5 tickets on this list. As a matter of fact, we have one at the top of the list. So it's very possible for these $5 tickets to compete with the higher price tickets as long as the overall payout's good enough and the prize structure is done in a way that makes it competitive. But that's about it for this Massachusetts Lottery $5 Game of Thrones ticket. I don't like it. The overall payout's way too low. They took out way too much value, and I just don't see it. I don't see the second chance drawing stuff bringing back that massive amount of value that they took out. So I'm not necessarily saying that the Massachusetts Lottery is doing anything sketchy, but I think this Game of Thrones promotion out in California, I think it's sketchy. It's just the rules are too ambiguous, and yeah, it's just there are too many question marks. So this is one that I would avoid. I wouldn't play it, and I don't recommend that you play it. There are too many other like really good $5 tickets in Massachusetts. So that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.